Devi Anina Haukiba October 21.
High Court declares election of Kakching MLA Y. Surchandra to 11th Manipur Legislative Assembly as null and void. Rival M. Rameshwar of BJP to be new MLA. Ex-Kakching MLA Y. Surchandra appeals to Supreme Court to stay today's judgment of High Court of Manipur. Park Kanballop accuses Hindustan Steelworks Construction Limited of misappropriating 5 crore 17 lakh rupees sanctioned for the construction of National Sports University. Manipur reports 222 new COVID-19 cases and 2 deaths in the last 24 hours. Death toll reaches 189. And India reports over 50,000 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours, pushing Delhi over 83 lakhs. Recovery rate stands above 92%. Kurumjari, good evening. You are watching Thursday Primetime English Bulletin on Impact News. And I'm Victoria RAJKUMARI with you. Before we begin, Impact News would like to make an appeal to all our viewers that to stay protected from coronavirus, wash your hands frequently, wear your face masks properly and maintain a safe distance while stepping outside from your homes or workplaces. Remember, these 3 simple precautions are all that it takes to defeat the pandemic. Now the top stories. In the first of its kind political verdict in the state, the High Court of Manipur has allowed the election petition number 1 filed by M. Rameshwar in 2017 setting aside the election of Y. Surchandra to the 11th Manipur Legislative Assembly as Kakching MLA for 2017 to 2022 termed as null and void. The High Court pronounced its verdict today, directing a BJP candidate in the 2017 State Assembly election of Kakching Assembly constituency, M. Rameshwar, who secured the second highest votes, to take over as the new Kakching MLA. It may be mentioned that M. Rameshwar had filed election petition to the High Court claiming false information by his contender Y. Surchandra while filing form number 26 for assets declaration while filing his nomination for the election in 2017. Condemning the returning officer of allowing INC candidate Y. Surchandra to contest in the election, BJP candidate M. Rameshwar had filed the petition in the High Court right after the election the same year. After the petition remained pending for the past 3 years, final hearing of the case was held on October 21st by the single bench of the High Court of Justice M.V. Muralidharan and the judgment was reserved. The single bench today announced its final verdict via video conferencing. The court came to the conclusion that election of Y. Surchandra in violation of Indian Constitution's Representation of People's Act is null and void and declared his closest contender in the 2017 Manipur Legislative Assembly election of Kakching Assembly constituency BJP candidate M. Rameshwar as elected member. It may be mentioned that 12 different petitions were filed at the High Court of Manipur citing errors and misconducts in the 2017 11th Manipur Legislative Assembly elections. 2 petitions have been settled so far, including today's, while the remaining 10 are still pending, which includes election petitions against Lok Sabha MP Dr. Lorho and Rajya Sabha MP Lisemba Sanajauba. It may be also mentioned that Y. Surchandra, who hopped from Congress party to BJP and back to Congress again, was even disqualified by the Speaker of Manipur Legislative Assembly. Meanwhile, M. Rameshwar has expressed that the High Court's righteous judgment will leave a profound impact on the political system of the state. Speaking to media, M. Rameshwar said that justice has been finally delivered to the people of Kokching constituency who were deceived by ex-MLA of the constituency, Y. Chandra. He asserted that the High Court's judgment will serve as a reminder not to abuse power. He is sure to initiate necessary welfare activities for the constituency once he takes the oath of office and secrecies as an MLA.
आइन की वांग मत चलगा प्रजाबु नमथाक तौदुना महांगना एमएलए ओइना बोट थेंगरगा कागी बसी आइन की मतुंगिना यादे हैबो खंगलकपसे मसीनी अचुंब पुथोकपगी दंते हांगा यामना नुंगाइबो फोंदोकचरी लोइना लोइनाना ngasi मणिपुरदा अमदि भारत वर्षपुमदा राजनीति हैबो पोट असि यामना अमोटपो पोट अमनी राजनीति तौबो कांगबुबु यामना मोटना यामना फत्तने येंगनवा प्रजागी लेरिबो मियेंग असि तुमथोकमिनसी
हंगदबो वोटर सिंगबु सेंगना आई हुरालुरे नत्रगना आई क्रिमिनल केसदा सि चेनरुरे आई प्रॉपर्टी सुक हैबसे उथोक्तना फंगिबो बोट से काउंट तौबो यादे हजे अनोबो लो अदुना वोटर सिंगनासु लोइमकी खंगबम थोई अदुगा कैंडिडेट सिंगी मथौना कइनो हाइबा मतंदा मानासु लोइनम हाइदोकदमने हाइबने हुजिक्ति कइगिनो हाइबदा सो दैट द वोटर कैन चूज द राइट पर्सन.
On the other hand, ex-Kokching MLA Y. Chandra has appealed to the Supreme Court via online to stay put today's judgment of the High Court of Manipur and is gearing to fight the case in the Supreme Court. Speaking to media at his quarter in Babupara today, Y. Chandra expressed firm belief that he will win the case in the Supreme Court. He recalls that the BJP candidate M. Rameshwar had complained to the returning officer while filing nomination for the 2017 11th Manipur Legislative Assembly election on account of failure to mention his wife's bank account details, yet the RO accepted his nomination. He said that Rameshwar filed a case against him in April after the election and the case has been going on in the court for over 3 years. Y. Chandra said that he cannot force his wife to provide her bank account details. He condemned the declaration of his closest contender as elected member as against the Supreme Court's rulings.
अइना नुपीगी पीदिरिसु अइना पीसी अमरबलदी हम नोइते डायरेक्टर वमनी राइटर नि मा कोई एमसु की फाउंडर मेंबर नि एग्जीक्यूटिव मेंबर 1965 के अरु सी राइटर सु अरंबा डायरेक्टर सु मजे अल्जमर ना कोई अल्जमर ना कोई स्ट्रोक मसाम तवे होटी डिमेंजिया कोम तवले अदुना कोई विनेस वन सु पुथवा अइ नुपीगा इग नेवर लाइफ ते अकाउंट हंगदे अइ वाइफ ना डिस्क्लोज तोंगिंग दे अकाउंट दु करमाय अइने कराइ दे कोल ग डिस्क्लोज दु बैंक तसु थांगै समुदे अखोइना कना हमना अइगे अकाउंट से ना के अकाउंट से मी म थारा हंगिया दे बैंक सु बिरोय मसाना नत्रगदि तोरप सारिंगे सु अखोइनि मखान डायरेक्टर इन डीसी ओइनि सु आई डायरेक्टर सु नेवर अकाउंट हंगदे मसे अखोइनि हंगनदरबा लाइफ के अमने लोना अइना फोर्स तोरगा इनपी अकाउंट हाइदो मी यादे इवन हस्बैंड वाइफ ओइ बाबा कोई सुप्रीम कोर्ट चलपगी ऑलमोस्ट एवरीथिंग रेडी नी अरे हाई कोर्ट ऑनरेबल हाई कोर्ट जजमेंट जी से तोबिरो कोई सुप्रीम कोर्ट चथिन नै हेबगी होजि ऑनलाइन दा कोई फाइल तोगरे 100% कोई थजै अन सोइदना अपील सप मतमदा अखोइन नमकनी हेबगी आई आशा चाउन लै अइबु नुसिबि प्रजापुन मरुइना कक्सिंग केंद्रगी प्रजापुन मकनिंग कइमता काबिगनु.
Defense Counsel of Y. Chandra, Advocate Thokchom Modhu said declaration of assets owned by a candidate while filing of election nomination is required, but the same can't be forced from the candidate's spouse. He added that even then, Y. Chandra personally approached UBI head branch to give the bank account details of his wife, but the bank had denied. He added that declaring the second closest contender in the election as the new MLA is against the principle of the Supreme Court.
मागी एसेट तो नंदा मागी सोर्स ऑफ इनकम सु उठ के दोनी अदु उतर डिस्क्वालिफाई तब दनी है पोसी कुजी 2018 द लाख रमे अदु कुजी तावे केस दि 2018 ममांग दनी बट नुगाई रिदि कइनो है मतम दा ngasi बावदा सोफार कइनो द लाख केस दि केनो मतम दि एडमिटेडली लोशन मा को इथिने तावे केस दि हम क्लियर होइसे आइना वर्जिन एरिया नि ngasi बावदा सुप्रीम कोर्ट ngasi बावदा माइन पिनो यादबनि नत्र करि तौनि हाइसि पोसेम द डिसाइड तौदिने अदु ngasi नन डिस्क्लोजर है वर्ड सि द नन डिस्क्लोजर इज द फैक्ट natrane something non ji disclose do potu ne ba disclose ada tamu ki wife si kram po no heda lei kwanda koi please zum clear kan lo mram dige na first class officer ngakten amuna amagi kaino da koi monetarily or financial da kanam to mess up to de masu magi hinna aisu ai hinna ade mu ite mi si maruina masi tamu se ne tapi to ma atei da sansan me am da la ga su politics have policy di amna bamude kan heni amna karaf kaino om da change bani kana ka thawa yogje da bai dai go adu bu oibunina hairu matam su hairu tragedi force to gudrene aduna sigi policy di yang virgin area amo oibunina shopping mall sabu no ai su kali disqualified tawre na hairu powda madu powda hitam to some extent yar sin also but declaration petition declaration is totally against law settled principle of law ai mo ko
BJP supporters have allegedly assaulted a couple in Chairing Pandongbag Kavui village in Saitu Assembly constituency and threatened them not to exercise their franchise in the upcoming bypoll of the constituency on November 7th. Speaking to media at Manipur Press Club today, Gonseng Ray Malangmai said the BJP supporters captured him and his wife, Lurei Lui Malmai, last night at around 10 p.m. and took them at Kunungjang Youth Club where they were assaulted. Meanwhile, Saitu Block Congress Committee MPCC co-opted member Pauktaunung Panmai has condemned the incident and urged the ECI to look into the matter.
Karigamba noi nasak amuk uwa utladi bothani laglabadi noiba uwa mafamda adum hat ke lushinge haibagi wahai su thambani aduga moina su nampuda soi tawhalle aigi soi su lauki yut mayam mama laga mi kunthra yankai muni lakpa adugi mi singna aingonda dum thritan tawne ai aingonda thritan tawba phuba khotpa mi singdo maming su laye aina adum khangba aduga khangdaba karami masak su laye athuba matamda action do lawkhaningai ai haijaning mani
thritan tawraga asida bot thadabiya roi kainu tawroi hana yamna various taw leire BJP kangusina hojiki makoi authority singda moina full power piraga makoi mi natabaji bot thadana hanjiniga yam tawba manungda moigi village ta conflict remba yai ama toromba yai that's another matter adubu ai khoina mayam da appeal tawningba authority da appeal tawningba city masagi voting right to lebanina masagi voting right to the free and fair thadan view.
On the other hand, unknown armed miscreants reportedly threatened the chiefs of Kolin, G. Langjol and G. Songlup village, who are BJP supporters, last night. Speaking to media, Kolev village chief Kai Thang's spouse, Hengling, said two unknown armed individuals suspected to be INC supporters came at their place at around 11:30 p.m. and demanded them to take down the BJP banners and even threatened them to shoot their son. She further claimed that INC candidate of Saitu Assembly constituency, Lamtingthang Haukip, along with his man, came and threatened her family earlier on November 4th. Hengling appealed to the state government to provide security until the by-election is over. Meanwhile, Secretary of BJP Manipur Pradesh, Paukam Haukip, has condemned the incident.
Pungam Tangi Beneldu, Lokto Hai Ningtonga, Mana Nintona, Lokto Heraga, Mamani Loktoraga Sekairaga, Adu Itzanu Pasi, Ma Itzanu Pasi Laraga, Karigira, Sumena Tobasi Heraga, Mabanina, Nambangambra Haidena. Puduna, no may Satorga Animakdu, Mabanina, no may da Isan Pabu, Capriga is sonnet can be baggy, sonnet san be baggy, ma no may do po hide. Adu so no may that Mina Puraga Magi cano mark Manunda ko, E. do Aina to e, Huisiki Manbagi, Husiksi Anirak Suhramanina, Tangsu Amuk Toramba Amuk Zai, Adu Begi, Nako government Hanlaga, Huigidamok security Tambigara.
Adu Nasing Batodok say, Toktanaba. Public prayer the Aina appeal tozeri. Secondly, Hujik Lazeriba, Ita Sing say, Nungaina Laningai, government na, election loid repauba say, security Tambiraga, Nungaina, election say, free and fair Hanaba, State Bureau.
District Election Officer Imphal West, Naurem Praveen, has assured that all necessary COVID-19 safety measures are in place for voters to ensure smooth conduction of the upcoming by-election of the 22 Wangoi Assembly constituency on November 7th. He urged the public to exercise their franchise without any fear. Kanglikpa Kanbalup KKL has accused Hindustan Steel Works Construction Limited of misappropriating 5 crore 17 lakh rupees sanctioned for the construction of National Sports University. Speaking to media at KKL office in Pauna Market today, KKL General Secretary Namkhai Ngakpa Luang claimed that HSCL withdrew the money when it was the PWD that carried out ground leveling works of the upcoming sports university at Kautruk. He further claimed that acting Vice Chancellor of NSU, Zwilaning, and former Managing Director of HSCL, Moyuk Bahaduri, are involved in the scam. He added that Moyuk Bahaduri is currently involved in another multi-crore CBI case. Stating that the written request has been submitted to the Prime Minister, Namkhai Ngakpa demanded CBI investigations into the scam without further delay.
Huge amount 5 crore 17 lakhs ki scam amakak Department of Youth Affairs and Sports Government of India ga Hindustan Steel Works Construction Limited HSCL hariba anisina logtunaraga Manipur gi sports ki damakta thadar liba suk chawraba sempham asibu ching ani khak tengkhaiba sida moina hariba ching tengkhaiba sisu PWD department na tawgibani aduga hariba site asi moina photo kapaga moina tawbani haina lan report pisilaga hariba yamna huge amount crore mangaga lakh target ki sentham asi moina haidalamani aduga hariba pot asi akas bill oina moina moigi oiba minute aina koi gi meeting abakhakta puthokpada bukta masigi poche sukhan khanna kidana masigi poche dam toksin graba adugumba paisa che lana sinaraga chathokraba pot amakhakni habado ngasi lebak myam da koina puthokchabani.
Body of the driver who fell in the Irang River has been taken to his hometown at Balunhandar of Hojai district under Lamka police station in Assam. 37-year-old Phokwe Shangbam Khamba Singh, son of late Juboti, was driving the truck that fell along with the Irang bridge on November 1st. His body was recovered yesterday around 20 kilometers away from Khopum and finally brought to Jennings Morgue in Porompat last night. Drivers and transporters led by Transporters and Drivers Council TDC General Secretary Takhil Mayum Jeevan and General Secretary of all Manipur Road Transport Drivers and Motor Worker Union Maimom Anil Mitei paid thorough tributes to the deceased today. Brother of the deceased, Nilakamal thanked members of a TDC and Drivers Union for all their help and support, including a monetary aid of 1 lakh rupees. Before he left with his brother's body, he appealed to the relevant authorities to repair the bridge to avoid similar mishap again.
Transporter and Driver Council na numituga gi hona mating tori aisa khoi tum news ta sudum taba phangi to sum picture so uba phangi to sarkar na su angama mating to tori na so khamba ngami phongsi na matam sa de magi validity se oi khanga de so sigi authority na sarkar na sathosin sigi thingba ma leiramaga di thodo se thoi dai na khali na maintain rom da badagi thodo se thoki banai na lore
ngarang si khopum dagi kilometer kun muk changaga leba irang hariba jaga du da ekta phangaga khoi khudakta nungba police team amga lona phal gi jenim khos jenim ski mokta nungdang si puraga lakpani leirebo oja guru sigi mafam da kai kumba ulaba matung da khoi sanana ba khoi sem chablu hoja ya si bom fam si sanana ba khoi gi team amasu hoji karma si nangna ba khoi sem chablu dan le si president pala ma pi ni habdo haidi pigri ba pisasi khoi karma ma gi masagi karma se nangna ba khoi gi team mama khoi sem chajun le.
General Secretary of all Manipur Road Transport Drivers and Motor Workers Union Maimom Anil Mitei has appealed to transporters to carry lesser loads along the Old Kasar Road, locally known as Tongjai Maril. Speaking to media in Imphal today, Maimom Anil said transporters are favouring goods for people of the state from Silchar along the road, but there is danger of accident due to landslides at Khopum area. He appealed to carry lesser loads to avoid any mishaps.
Khopumgi area town joromdai kilometer amani walinge matam mafam sida gi yam sangna landslide tawriba khogi gari singsi chatpada ngamdaba gari singsi hujik chawjaleba gari singsi JCB gi mateng tawraga illaga hujik se chatlibni mafam sida hujik sulabi se pura yadana leirabani aduna yari makhaidi tonsi yam handana hapaga chatpana tragadi khudni fawrga chalibina bedo khudong thiba natragana khudni suma gi lambi masa ama leini lambi masa du hujik leiraba lambi si kilometer makai muksi mafam mari manga si pura landslide tawraga khogi lambi se kaimbo semdana paka su semdana leiraba mafam singse masigi asoba problem ama driver sing amadi transporter sing da mayong nak payai leriba transporter sing driver sing sinau khudimangna hariba mafam si tangai fadana land yadragasu khogi ton masing se angak phangna handaraga pubiu haise all Manipur transport drivers and the motor ka unit ni mai thamjari.
Women vendors of a new market, Purana Bazaar and Mayanglang Fijoy in Kwairanban Ima Market have appealed to the government to open the market even for few days in view of the upcoming Ningol Chakova festival. Speaking to media at Manipur Press Club today, a vendor, Y. Ibeyema, appealed to the government to acknowledge their plights as they have been stripped of their livelihood with closure of the market since March 21st owing to coronavirus pandemic. She also criticized the government for carrying out election rallies in Pauna and Thangal markets amid huge crowd in violation of COVID-19 SOPs. She said a mere closure of the market without abiding COVID-19 SOPs is not a wise decision.
Miam su pin media gi isini naw kingna koi na satuna yembiyo ba SOP ngak na ba khon na ba tawri ba mayam se karam mafam da bunga ige ba hauji lockdown hangdana election tawdana miam gi oiba meeting achaw ba phamdana tawri ba se Sigi miyeng sisu akoi COVID ki laina na wara ba akoi jadi khang ba dayam na wara ba saina ngaktani punamak se government na yenga thingjan bige ha na pulak thingjan biro hang bige ha na akoi no ji haijari ba ningun chakau bagi se si yenga ga di hang biu ha ba se hanna na haijari.
Mahot Minister Okram Henry took stock of illegal structures in Pauna and Thangal markets today. During the surprise inspection, he also checked shops and houses for a valid registration certificate and license. Okram Henry appealed to shopkeepers to pay their tax on time. Mahut and IMC officials worked along with the minister from Kuyathong till Pauna market inspecting illegal encroachments and improper garbage disposal. Textiles, Commerce and Industry Minister Thongam Biswajit today chaired a review meeting of the Pradhan Mantri Employment Generation Program at his Secretariat office. Biswajit instructed the bank officials to sanction loans to entrepreneurs and meet their respective targets at the earliest. He further urged the bankers to lay emphasis on genuine and new entrepreneurs while sanctioning loans. Department officials apprised that out of a physical target of loans to be provided to 2,063 entrepreneurs for this year, only 60 entrepreneurs have been sanctioned loans so far. Bank officials highlighted that due to the high number of applicants, the verification process is time-consuming. Minister Biswajit proposed engagement of a project consultation to assist interested entrepreneurs applying for loans. He also urged both bank and department officials to coordinate and work together. Commissioner TCI R.K. Dinesh, TCI Director L. Bikram, representatives of KVICs, KVIBs, DGMs of DICS and bank officials attended the meeting. Minister Thongam Biswajit also met with representatives of All Manipur Entrepreneurs Association and heard their grievances today. AMEA representatives highlighted certain issues arising due to COVID-19 pandemic. The meeting was held at the conference hall of Ministers' Secretariat Office. Issues discussed in the meeting included waiving off of power bills and rent in respect of Workshades factory for some months inside the industrial estates. AMEA also urged TH Biswajit, who also holds the power portfolio, to install dedicated power lines for the industrial estates. The minister is sure to look into the matter and do all the needful to help the local entrepreneurs. He said that the meeting with the business community will be convened at the earliest to discuss ways to ensure that local products are made available in the state's marketplaces. Manipur reported 222 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 and 2 deaths in the last 24 hours. As per State Health Department and COVID-19 Command Control Room press release at 5 p.m. Today's Manipur confirmed COVID-19 cases have reached 19,725. In the last 24 hours, 2 coronavirus infected patients, 1 each from Thoubal and Kamjong, have passed away. With this, death toll has reached 189. On the positive note, 132 people were discharged in the past 24 hours and recovered cases have reached 15,750. State's recovery rate stands at 79.84%. Out of the newly infected persons, 207 are from general population and 15 are personnel of Central Armed Police Force. Newly infected persons from the general population are 86 from Imphal East, 78 from Imphal West, 15 from Churachandpur, 14 from Tamenglong, 5 from Thoubal, 8 from Kangpokpi, 2 each from Chandal, Senapati, Technopal and Ukhrul, 1 each from Kakching and Kamjong. All are locals without any significant travel history. Infected persons are being shifted to COVID care facilities and necessary measures are underway. It's time for a small commercial break. After the break, we bring you news on updates on coronavirus cases in India and the world. We'll be back with the details after the break. Keep watching Impact News.
Panthoibi Group presents Panthoibi Housing Finance Company Limited, regulated by RBI, has completed its 15 years of service, having 13 branches including Guwahati. Provides subsidized home loan under PMAY CLSS Housing for All by 2022 mission. Panthoibi Microfin deals in microfinance. Panthoibi Nidhi Limited provides loans against fixed deposit and properties. Panthoibi Construction booking is going on for flats, villas, row house. For more details, kindly contact Panthoibi Housing Finance Company Limited and its subsidiary group of companies.
Welcome back. You're watching Thursday Primetime English Bulletin on Impact News. India's COVID-19 tally has reached 83.64 lakhs with 50,210 new cases reported in the last 24 hours. While the number of people who have recovered from the disease are 77 lakhs 11,809, pushing the country's recovery rate to 92.20%. As per the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, death toll has reached 1,24,315 and active COVID-19 cases have come down to 5,27,962. Maharashtra is still on the top with above 1,13,000 active cases. According to Indian Council of Medical Research, nearly 12,10,000 COVID samples were tested during the last 24 hours. Globally, coronavirus has infected above 4 crore 85 lakh 71,000 people, above 1 crore 2 lakh 33,000 people have died, and recoveries are above 3 crore 47 lakh 88,000. USA is on the top with a more than 32 lakh 69,000 active cases of COVID-19, followed by India and Brazil. City Police has beefed up measures against violators of COVID-19 protocols. Police today issued fines upon shops in Thangal Market for not following COVID-19 SOPs. They also shut down those shops which fail to maintain social distancing norms. Speaking to media, police appealed to shopkeepers to open only on their respective allotted days. They also urged the customers to abide by COVID-19 related SOPs at all times to combat the pandemic. A man was found dead in a suspicious manner at Awang Kuno Lamkai under Patsoi Police Station in Imphal West District today. The deceased is 50-year-old Moirangthem Brojan, son of late Ibo Pishak from Tera Lukram Lerak under Lamphel Police Station in Imphal West District. Impact News sources said that locals found the body at around 6:30 this morning. Patsoi Police personnel and Manipur Forensic Science team immediately rushed to the spot for investigation. The body has been kept at Rims Morgue. Patsoi Police Station has registered an unnatural death case. A man has filed a petition at Manipur Human Rights Commission to lodge FIR against Imphal West SP and also demanded to pay him compensation for being allegedly assaulted by the SP. The commission has instructed the SP to prove his innocence within November 13th. Sagolban MLA R.K. Imo today distributed loans under Housing for All scheme to 92 beneficiary families of IMC worth number 8 in Sagolban constituency. Each family got a loan amount of 15,000 rupees to start their house foundation. Speaking at an event held at Ibudau Kamlangba Laibung in Sagolban Moirang Lerak, MLA R.K. Imo appealed to people of the constituency to set aside political differences to bring development. Cooking gas connections under Ujwala Yojana were also distributed to beneficiaries of the constituency on the occasion.
하오리바 강구도 없디 사드르게 되어 몸이 셈범세 방모이도고 아나 아와바수 그래 영나버니나 카도르수 마땡 방시 마시 켄드라 후푸시다 하우싱 포롤제 까남바 하나 마땡 방바 여러분 동만지 마얌수 좀 강비랑거니 따우리바세 아코이나 레이저리바 아이기 눈치저라바 아할람마니 마이벤싱 나미 카도르수 마땡 방바 야바 자가다 따호시 하이드나 COVID-19 마락시다 아와바수 오이바 시 마닥시다 юм수 사데야데 하버기 pressure am lakwa natradi pesaso hangrani haibagi madugumba pressure leibase fardo su koga hapaga saraga athubada ahamba face ki lising hom phuse lawba yaraga di makha taba mu sathaba yana ba haidana masigi sempam se aina mateng pangsabani.
Members of Maira Paibi upon Balov Bishnupur, Ningthokong branch led by their Vice President P. Devjani seized liquors from various areas of Ningthokong in Bishnupur district today. The seized liquors were destroyed in front of the public. More Integrated Checkpost Bypass Road Land and Structure Committee has urged the authorities concerned to halt the ongoing repair of More ICP Bypass Road. Speaking to media at Jupiter Yambem Building in Paungna Market today, Vice President of the committee, Phuk Baipai, appealed to carry out the construction only after providing necessary compensation and rehabilitation of the affected residents.
Forced eviction सरकार ना तो रखपसी एक कोई याम न यानिंगे तो बता रही एक कोई की educate compensation तो बीरगा एक कोई की rehabilitation सी सरकार ना तो बीरदी तो बियो सरकार ना एक कोई की दरकार मखेदु तो बीरो एक कोई ना लम्दु लो बुजारो है बनते एक कोई ना पीरो है बनते एक कोई बुहाना एक कोई की मरु वही बसिंगदु ना सरकार ना तो बीमा बतुंगा एक कोई ना अदम हराव हराव ना जगादु थारोग लगा अदुम लेगे हाइबसे एखुइगे हानदिगी फिरियबने अदु सरकारना कारिगुम्बा कारिसु थौसादबिदा तौबसिदा एखुइगे होयिगी खोंजांसि चांगसि लाकपने.
Pandit Dindayal Upadhyay Institute of Agricultural Science Employees Welfare Association has said that employees of the institute have been denied salary since July 2019, much before the coronavirus pandemic. Press release from the association has condemned that the institute's chairman T.H. Chauba and director Dr. R.K. Imotomba have shown their protest in demand for their pending salary in a bad light. One-day awareness on Dindayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya Yojana was held at Chingdong Laikai Ward No. 2 Playground in Jiribam district today. Manipur State Rural Livelihoods Mission, Jiribam CD Block, organized the program under State Department of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj. The scheme aims to provide various skill development trainings to unemployed youth to enable their livelihood.
Hairiba mission se sina tawudaba tabok thongdi khungangda leiba sahi taraga nipan dagi sahi kunsa mangaboki manungda leiba youthing lemna skill training pibada natana skill training piba loiraba matungda moigi sana ba job placement create tobibani maruoina nupi sing haibadi vulnerable person sing haibadi HIV infected oiba natraga physically handicap oiba amasung transgender singi oinadi sahi 45 years oba relax tawgani.
Two-day international conference on citizenship, illegal immigration and politics, its impact and a global scenario concluded today at SK Women's College, Nambol. Human Resource and Innovation Center, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, along with the Castle Hotel Palace Compound, Imphal, organized the program funded under UGC Strides. Convener of the international conference, L. Mohindro, moderated the online meet attended by delegates from various universities of Myanmar, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Thailand and India. United People's Front UPF Manipur observed the 22nd anniversary of its monthly journal Aikoigi Panthung at UPF office in Kaishamthong, Laistrom, Leirak, Machin today. Second anniversary of Kukching District Police Cycle Patrol Unit, first of its kind in Manipur, was observed today at CESSA Public Hold in Kukching, Sangai Yumpham. Speaking on the occasion, Manipur Police DIG Range 2, Kabif K, IPS lauded Kukching District Police for its proactive initiatives. SP Kukching Victoria Yenkom said that the Cycle Patrol Unit has been a great help to the community police and called upon other districts' police to take on the same. She also appealed to the public to continue supporting the police. A team led by Social Welfare Minister Okram Henry's spouse Okram Ongwi Riches Bam today distributed basic amenities to deprived people of Wangkai Assembly constituency today. Wheelchairs, walking sticks, hearing aids and spectacles were distributed to 10 differently able and all-age persons of the constituency.
ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯁꯤ ꯉꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯌꯦꯟꯊꯣꯛꯄ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯍꯧꯖꯕꯅꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯑꯋꯥꯠ ꯑꯄꯥ ꯂꯩꯔꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯈꯥ ꯇꯥꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯌꯦꯟꯊꯣꯛꯆꯈꯤꯅꯤ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯌꯦꯟꯕ ꯖꯒꯥꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯔꯒꯥꯏꯂꯣꯡ ꯗꯤꯝꯗꯥꯏꯂꯣꯡ ꯇꯤꯂꯤꯄꯇꯤ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯈꯨꯔꯥꯏ ꯊꯥꯡꯖꯝ ꯂꯩꯀꯥꯏꯁꯤꯗ ꯌꯧꯖꯔꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯌꯦꯟꯊꯣꯛꯄ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯃꯈꯥ ꯇꯥꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯌꯦꯟꯊꯣꯛꯆꯈꯤꯒꯅꯤ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯆꯠꯄ ꯉꯝꯗꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯇꯣꯜꯂ ꯇꯥꯔꯕ ꯑꯁꯣꯟ ꯑꯅꯥ ꯀꯌꯥꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯌꯦꯟꯊꯣꯛꯆꯕꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯅꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯌꯦꯟꯊꯣꯛꯑꯒ ꯆꯠꯆꯔꯨꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯑꯩꯉꯣꯟꯗꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯕ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯖꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯖꯤꯛꯇꯪ ꯉꯝꯖꯕ ꯄꯤꯊꯣꯛꯄꯁꯦ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯕ ꯐꯥꯎꯖꯩꯌꯦ.
Now the sports news. In the second round, the men's singles of the 47th Paris Masters tennis tournament played at the indoors hard court of Accor Hotels Arena, France, Switzerland's S. Wawrinka has defeated USA Tommy Paul by 4-6, 7-6, 7-3 and 6-2. Russia's Andrei Rublev has beat Moldova's Radu Albot by 6-1, 6-2. Spain's Rafael Nadal has stressed F. Lopez, also of Spain, by 4-6, 7-6, 7-5, 6-4, and Canada's Milos Raonic has defeated B. Herbert of France by 6-4, 6-4 to enter the third round of the tournament. 48 players are part of the men's singles. Subsequent matches will be played this evening. All Manipur Football Association has congratulated Chingtham Ravi Shankar, who has been granted membership of International Professional Scouting Organization. All India Football Federation AIFF granted the membership to Ravi Shankar in recognition for his valued participation in the online course held under the aegis of AIFF at Football House in New Delhi from October 12 till 16. Altogether, 40 coaches and scouts participated in the online course. And before we wrap up, let's take a look at the headlines once again. High Court declares election of Kakching MLA Y. Surchandra to 11th Manipur Legislative Assembly as null and void. Rival M. Rameshwar of BJP to be new MLA. Ex-Kakching MLA Y. Surchandra appeals to Supreme Court to stay today's judgment of High Court of Manipur. Kanglekpa Kanballuk accuses Hindustan Steel Works Construction Limited of misappropriating 5 crore 17 lakh rupees sanctioned for construction of a national sports university. Manipur reports 222 new COVID-19 cases and 2 deaths in last 24 hours. Death toll reaches 189. And India reports over 50,000 new COVID-19 cases in last 24 hours, pushing tally over 83 lakhs. Recovery rate stands above 92%. That's all we have for today. Thank you for being here. Coming up next is Primetime Manipur Bulletin. For more news updates, you can also follow Impact TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube. Good night.
Lagliba Manipur Assembly by election asibu mapung fahanan